Hey there, and welcome to my channel. It's Nicole Sims, the Boutique Expert. I am a retail visual merchandising and marketing strategist, and I help established boutique brands and fashion owners really grow their business through elevating their visual merchandising in store and online to really increase sales. And today I want to talk to you about something that every brand thinks about, every brand loses sleeps about: traffic. Having slow traffic. It happens in every single business, happens in all types of retailers, big and small, successful and as well as struggling. How do you overcome low traffic? Well, today I want to talk about how you can go over the summer slump or sometimes having slower traffic and really making sure you have a very enticing and captivating store that leads to profits. Stay tuned. Here's the truth. Customers are bored. I said it, they are bored. They are not tired of the same old experience when they're coming to shopping. They want more from their retailers, more from their boutiques, and expect more after the past few years. And if you've been successful, you're doing the same old thing that's gotten you this far, you're gonna have to rethink some things. So we're gonna have to make sure that you're really making an experience for your customers. I'm sure you've heard that before, experience retail. Well, it's not going anywhere. It's very important that you make experience your shopping experience that they want to share, they want to cultivate, they want to get lost into and come back for more and more and more. That's how you overcome low traffic. That's how you make sure you have consistent traffic, thus consistent sales and profit month over month, quarter after quarter, year after year. So we're going to talk about 3 ways you can do right now to increase your traffic. No matter what's going on outside, no matter what season it is, you're going to make sure that you increase your sales. And that's where visual merchandising comes in. Visual merchandising will help you make immersive, really wonderful stories in your store that will attract customers and make your store irresistible to them. They make them want to come back for more. So it's not about being pretty, even though being pretty is important. You want to use visual merchandising, have your thinking cap on, and be really creative. How can you showcase your product in a way that really makes customers really want to come and shop with you, because they have so many options out there, and that's what's one of the reasons that affects your traffic. They have other places to go. They're out shopping. They're out spending money. Even though things going on, people are still out in the malls, they're still out in boutiques, they're still out shopping. The key is why you want them to shop with you over your competitor. And the key to make them do that is your visual merchandising. So now we're going to go over the 3 ways you can do visual merchandising to really increase your sales. Way number 1 is really do focal points and windows. Focal points and windows are very important. Windows, of course, are your most important thing, and you're going to hear me say this over and over and over again. But windows are the soul of your brick and mortar. They are the eye of who you are, what you stand for. And sometimes being in a rut and doing things you've always done, season after season, showcase after showcase, even though you have new collections, you're still merchandising them in your windows the same way. And that can get stale and boring to customers. So you really want to use your windows in a way that really can create stories, really invite them in, talk about your brand more, showcase who you are, what makes your product and your collection better and more special than the next one down the street or even the one online. What can you do in your windows to really upgrade your level of presentation? And think about focal points. A focal point is somewhere in your store that you actually create an experience that is a focal of that store. It's not just a four-way, it's not just a round or a wall. It's a collection of fixtures and mannequins and things that really stand out to become focal, that's the name, focal in where you are in your store. So people actually are attracted to it and they tell stories. So it could be a beach theme, it could be a vacation theme, it could be a cruise theme, things you want to go on your next cruise, and you have all the things together, merchandise together in really creative ways, using mannequins and props and tables and things. But you really make it stand out in your store so people are drawn to it and they're looking at it like, oh my God, this is really cool. That I never thought of doing this stuff, doing things this way, or wearing it this way, or using things this way. Really use your storytelling to be creative. So first you want to get them in the store with your windows and being creative. Then once they're in, you want to draw them through the store, not just by your pathway, which is important, but you want to make sure to go into somewhere really cool, really inventive, really creative to take them away and really get them and really immerse them in your brand. Okay, beating traffic way number 2 is you want to make sure that you are using storytelling. Now, I've already touched on this a little bit in the previous section, but storytelling can be done in so many different ways. You want to make sure you're telling stories in every single inch of your store. First of all, again, with the windows, we just talked about that. So make sure you're telling stories in that. But once they get in, the storytelling shouldn't stop. It should continue going. There's so many different mini stories you can tell about your brand, about you, about how something's made, how something can be worn and used, all type of things. But you want to keep them engaged throughout the entire shopping experience. And you do that through your visuals. You do that how you merchandise on a table. You do that how you merchandise on the floor. You do that how you merchandise on a tea stand, how you put things together, how you layer your mannequins throughout your whole entire store. Now you do your buzz forms. You tell all kind of different miniature stories, so they're giving a little bit of every single piece of that story throughout their store, which keeps them engaged, keeps them interested, keeps them immersed, and they really want to stay for a very long time and shop with you. So it's very important that you see what kind of the key stories, pick about 5 key stories you can tell throughout your entire store that really want to get them immersed with your brand. Okay, improving your traffic way number 3. You want to build visual merchandising or shopping zones in your store. Now, that might sound kind of weird, like zoning in the store, but yeah, you want to kind of create little zones throughout your store. So it doesn't make a difference about how large you are, how small you are. For example, I have a client who had a boutique which was about relatively 500 square feet. And so she had walls, a few floor fixtures, and a large table towards the front. And we made zones without her in her store to create different ways to merge in. Now the zones were really simple. She had accessory zone, she had a plus size zone, and she had a sale zone, and then she had a brand new arrival zone. Okay, very simple. So you can use really things that people are interested in. So the accessory zone was my favorite part because that's where all her accessories were. Her hats, her jewelry, her scarves, her shoes, everything. It was a nice zone where people can really shop around and really get shopping with accessories instead of having them through all the different areas. Maybe have shoes over here or jewelry over here. She made a zone for customers to really shop, and people loved that about her store. It was something that was different. Like I don't have to go this way to the cash wrap to get the jewelry or over here to get shoes. It was all in one section and did very, very well for her. So you want to think about ways where you can do zoning and think you can pull things together so customers can kind of get lost in that area of your store, and that will increase your traffic because people will talk about, hey, I have this really cool accessory zone, if it's really cool plus size zone over there, there's a really cool lounge, really nice place where you have like a chair or a really nice area where people can sit, relax, there's trees, there's like plants, and there's magazines, really and there's coffee, things like that, things that you can do to maybe make you stand out. People can find a way to stay in your boutique or your store longer, and they talk about that. So you want to make shareable experience. Well, I had this great, it was a boutique. We sat around, it was beautiful, it was luxury. It was just a great, they treated us so well. I felt so nice, I didn't want to leave. That's what you want to create in your store. And the way you set up things up, the way you create zones in your store can be a key way that you can do that. So that's it. Those are the 3 ways you can use right now to increase the traffic in your store so you can beat this traffic slump that you may be in or you might experience sometime. So to recap, 1, you want to really concentrate on your windows and your focal points. You want to have windows that are enticing, that draw people in, and that tell something different that they're not expecting. Then you want to create focal points within your store that really tell great, huge overall stories that really get them engaged. 2, continue with the stories. Make sure the storytelling is strong and compelling throughout your entire store. Make many little stories throughout your store, throughout your presentations to really draw customers in. And 3, create visual merchandising zones in your store. Create areas where customers can get lost, really engage with, and really don't want to leave because they're having so much fun shopping in those areas. All right. So those are the 3 ways you can beat your traffic slump right now. And another thing you can do is you want to make sure, if you haven't already, you want to get my freebie down below in the link that I have that has 5 ways to increase your sales online. Because one of the things online to do with tree traffic is a little bit different than in brick and mortar, but it's very important that you do this. Basically some of the same things: storytelling, having zones and focal points on your website. So it's a freebie. I go through all of the information, how you can really draw traffic to your stores, as well as once they're there, how to convert all those people to sales. All right, so get that freebie for you. Click the link below. All right, so talk to you soon. See you for the next video, and then don't worry about all of this. This is going to pass, and it's going to be a great summer for you, but you have to make sure you're thinking, being strategic, and you're doing all you can to do to be different and above every one of your competitors. Talk to you soon. Bye.